Thank the gentleman. The gentleman from Texas, Mr. Green, who's also the ranking member on the Oversight and Investigation Subcommittee, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thank the ranking member as well, and I'm grateful to the witnesses for appearing today. I would like an expression of whether or not it is beneficial for us to be concerned with the use of cryptocurrency in certain areas. More specifically, is it beneficial to use cryptocurrency of some type in money laundering, terrorist activities, ransomware attacks, illegal trafficking of drugs, sex, weapons, illegal gambling, and evasion of taxes? Ms. House, let's start with you. Is it beneficial for us to be concerned about the use of some sort of cryptocurrency with this type of criminality?
It's beneficial for us to be concerned about it, if that's what you mean. If
Yes.
It's beneficial for us for its use in that way. No, it's not. It's only beneficial to those who are currently exploiting it. It's not inevitable to stay that way, but the current state of compliance across the ecosystem makes it attractive for those users.
Explain what you mean by the state of compliance.
Yes, sir. So basically, I was the head delegate to the FATF, the UN for anti-money laundering. If you're not familiar with it, we created the first international standards for virtual assets in anti-money laundering. The standards exist, the policy exists. It just hasn't been implemented internationally. If we had wide-scale cross-global implementation of our requirements to detect and prevent illicit activity and to stop use of, like, let's say, sanctioned actors in North Korea's use of cryptocurrency and that successful ability to launder, we wouldn't be in this current position. Unfortunately, it hasn't been implemented internationally.
Does the bill in question prevent this type of illicit activity?
I don't feel that the anti-money laundering measures in it are strong enough. It makes a reference to them being regulated under the Bank Secrecy Act, but there isn't clarity on who's purporting the regulations or how strong they need to be.
And as a result, would we still have exposure to the criminality that I called to your attention?
I fear that if we don't strengthen the measures, that could be an outcome, especially the extraterritoriality provision.
Is there a rush to judgment here, meaning a rush to, I shouldn't say judgment, a rush to get this done such that we don't have the time to carefully craft legislation that will help us prevent this type of criminality?
I would hope that even with the exigency of the issue, that given the years of bipartisan work that have been done by many members of this committee and those sitting in this room, we'd be able to leverage that work. I feel that the outcome of that work was more reflected in the the McHenry-Waters bill, which had a more holistic coverage of these protections. I'm not certain why the new legislation doesn't integrate some of those stronger provisions, which I think would be beneficial.
Would implementing those stronger provisions somehow weaken that legislation, this new legislation?
I don't feel so. I think it would strengthen it and make it truly comprehensive.
And do you think that the McHenry-Waters legislation had other redeeming value?
Absolutely. I think that it had a much more fulsome, like, holistic list of different measures. There were some good overlap too, things like one-to-one capital reserve requirements and a restriction on rehypothecation and investment of depositors' assets, basically. But unfortunately, I feel that the Stable Act is missing some of the most important provisions also that are outlined in the McHenry-Waters bill.
When this illicit activity takes place and there's a transfer of money in an illegal fashion, for illegal purposes, more appropriately, who benefits from that in the system?
Currently, the illicit actors benefit from it. I think that no responsible actor wants to be a platform for money laundering or for North Korean sanctions evasion and proliferation financing. So really, it's the illicit actors that are benefiting from lax controls.
Quickly to my last question. So when this occurs, does the the people who are purveyors of the currency, the persons with the system, do they get punished in any way?
There should be enforcement actions that can be taken if they fail to meet compliance obligations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Thank the gentleman. The gentleman from Montana, Mr. Downing, is now recognized for 5 minutes.